satanic statue in the apartment, and the gang members said they wanted to offer the beast a soul. Police say Hernandez Rivera and Alvarez Flores killed the girl execution style. Killers confessed to the crime after they were arrested. 22-year-old Miguel Alvarez Flores, there you see on the left, and 18-year-old Diego Hernandez Rivera on the right, appeared in court this week. Now, according to HPD, most MS-13 gang members are in this country illegally, and these two murder suspects could be as well. Police say they have reported the two to Homeland Security. Now, an investigator told us this morning that officers found evidence in the apartment where these gang members were keeping underage girls that led police to believe there was some sort of satanic ritual activity happening there. HPD says there were 3 underage girls in the apartment of the murder suspects, a 14-year-old, a 15-year-old who was murdered, and then a 16-year-old girl. Police say the 14-year-old told detectives she was kidnapped, drugged, and sexually assaulted by members of the MS-13 gang. Now, the 14-year-old also reportedly told investigators she was moved from one apartment to another, forced into consuming drugs and alcohol, then at one point was held down as Alvarez Flores tattooed the image of the Grim Reaper on her body from her knee down to her foot. This girl also told police the 15-year-old at the apartment was a girl named Genesis. She believes Genesis is the girl found dead on February 16th.
This is why faith in any God, any deity, is such a effed up thing. It's fucked up, plain and simple. It's bad enough that you have people out there who will essay people, who will kidnap people, who will murder people, who will facilitate violence and drug use and all these sorts of things. One of the things that makes it worse is when you back it up with some type of faith and belief. You know, it takes a lot for a person to come to a point where they're willing to kill an animal. And then it takes even more for a person to say that they're going to kill another person. But when you add a faith into it, whether it's an animal or a person, the person actually feels and thinks that what they're doing is correct based on a deity to which they have absolutely zero proof of. As much as I talk about how this God doesn't exist, this Jesus of the Bible never existed, Satan does not exist. I've said it many times before that the Satan in the original Sumerian language just meant the administrator, and then when it got converted over into the Akkadian, which was a Semitic language, it became the adversary. And then this adversary who was with God had problems, you know, with the fact that Job had such devotion to this God, that then later on the Christians were questioning, how is the Satan and the serpent and the beast, shouldn't they all, you know, who are these different characters? And so the Christians, 2nd century Christians, just made them all one, when there isn't one. There's no such thing. Lucifer is the planet Venus in the morning. The Satan is an administrator over the earth. The serpent is just a freaking animal that's talking in the Garden of Eden because they believe that animals could talk based on his deity. And it depends upon if you're looking at the Akkadian Sumerian version of the story, then the serpent is Enki. And he's just represented by a serpent. Belief, faith, willing to do something without any facts that any of these deities exist in any shape or form, in any dimension, in any level of the corporal life that we live now or the spiritual life of our consciousness, to believe that any of these things exist, and then you're willing to kill somebody over your belief. You're willing to kill somebody because you think that you're pleasing this deity. You genocide because you're pleasing this deity. You sacrifice people and animals because you believe in this deity. And yet you have zero proof that any of these deities actually exist. And when you look at the world as a totality, there are so many beliefs in so many gods throughout the history of man, and there's no proof that any of them exist, but yet society continues to perpetuate these myths in order to justify their lack of understanding of nature and their justification for lack of human decency. This is a horrible case in Houston, Texas. And if people think that the Satanists are the only ones who's ever participated in human sacrifice, Jesus was a human sacrifice. The Abrahamics all sacrifice people. Other religions have sacrificed people. And even the sacrifice of animals is already a hatred towards nature. All these religions should be banned from the human consciousness. And in that way, maybe some lives will be saved. And people, I know people are still going to murder, but at least they wouldn't do it because they believe in some make-believe fairy tale and some pixie is going to come and make their lives better and protect them. Yet people believe, the people being sacrificed most likely believed in that their God was going to protect them. All faiths should be banned. There's no reason to have faith when we live in a world where we have enough knowledge today to know the difference, to understand that things happen because of nature, things happen because of the actions that you take, things happen because of the way you think. It doesn't happen because some make-believe deity is telling you that it happens. This is why I don't like humans. Y'all have a great day. And remember always, you got to free yourself to be yourself because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.